let me tell you that if the way a furniture piece feels matters to you, this feels delicious. 320 grit sandpaper. Started at 80, move your way up to get all of that nasty red out of this wood. Oh, it feels like a butter. Before we get started in our video, I just wanted to say thank you to Cyrove for sponsoring this video and providing a stainless steel litter box for my home. Some of you may know I have 7 cats. It's a little crazy, I know, but we do, and litter boxes are a serious issue for us. The one in my bedroom where I have 2 babies that almost never come out, that litter box had started being a real problem. And Cyrove provided this nice stainless steel one, and I'm going to say it's made a huge difference. The stainless steel really reduces and eliminates odors and bacteria buildup. The nice wide opening made us actually be able to put a cover on this one because it doesn't make one of my cats feel trapped inside of it. So if we ever had a top on, they tended to use outside the litter box, just on the edge. But with this one, if we keep that latch open, like Sue was just showing, then they're using it just fine. It's been very nice. And there it is in my bedroom. And it actually has a nice little mat that keeps the litter sort of kept clean, and its own litter scoop that is nice and large so it doesn't get any of the clumping litter stuck to it. So I really appreciate you sponsoring this video, and it's made a huge difference in the stinkiness of this litter box that's in my bedroom. So if you want to learn more, check out the link in the description below. Finally, we have this piece. It's a really beautiful little empire piece, and it should, again, be a bleeder. So I'm going to get the knobs off. I really would like to paint the base white, but I don't think I'm going to because there's too many little areas that have some chip veneer or what have you on here that I'm not going to probably bother doing too much repair. I will do a little repair on them. But I think ultimately giving this one some texture and then painting it might be the best method. So maybe I'll add some Saltwash to an underneath coat to kind of hide some of the damage, and then paint it white and do some sanding down. Top, same. Everybody seems to want the wood tops these days, and I do like using the Voodoo stain. We're going to give this a sand and a restain as well. Really, the first step for all of it, though, is going to be a bucket of TSP and water. Give everything a good clean. These are all pieces that Sue bought from that Pods unit, and we know they've been in there for a couple decades, so we want to start with cleaning them. Okay, we've already talked about this, but we've gotten the knobs out of here, and now I need to fill in that hole. And yes, you can do it with other things, but the easiest thing to do is to get a dowel that matches the hole as closely as you can, and then we're going to cut the dowel and insert it into each one of these holes, and then we'll putty it. That way it won't continuously just sink into the hole. You could put tape on the other side, but this is a pretty thick drawer, and this is just going to be the easiest, fastest way. Okay, in this case, my dowels are just a little bit tinier or a little bit larger than my holes. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my holes slightly larger so that the dowels will fit. There we go, nice and flush. I'll wipe all that down with the damp. I am accustomed to painting everything by hand, so this whole sprayer thing is new to me. I am getting better at it, but it's still a little bit of a challenge. I've decided to use Dixie Belle's Bonding Boss, which is both sort of a slick stick and bonder in one. And I've decided to do this because I really don't want this red showing up, especially after these steps. And a little bit of safety on the front end is worth it to me. Now I am mixing up my salt wash. So I'm using Vintage Duck Egg by Dixie Belle, and I'm adding the salt wash little by little until it has the consistency of like brownie batter. I would say cake batter, but in this case, I really want more like brownie batter. And when I'm at the table, then I am going to have a nice fluffy brush, and I'm just going to start pouncing it on. It doesn't have to be full coverage for this. Really what you're looking for are the peaks that will be sanded off later to reveal this color underneath. I did one heavy layer of salt wash, and after most of that's dry, I'm going back in and just sort of filling in the holes. I said it doesn't have to be full coverage, and it doesn't. But in this case, I kind of want it to be. And now I'm going to go ahead and start doing my Voodoo gel stain on top. In this case, I have a damp sponge. That is where you get it full of water and then basically squeeze as much water out as you can. I have a little divot back there. That's why I was rubbing back and forth. And all I'm going to do is just go across over and over again. I'm going to let each layer, so I'm going to fill this whole top and then let this layer dry. And then I typically do about 3 layers. You don't have to do that many, but I like to. I like the depth that it brings to the piece. It really depends on the look that you want. And then I'm going to do top coats, which you see here. I am going to use some Dixie Belle top coat, and I'm going to do this pretty much the exact same way that I did the Voodoo gel stain. I'm going to use a damp rag, and I'm going to sponge it on. This entire piece has been top coated, and now to add just a little more aging, I'm going to use Fusion Antiquing Gel. And what I'm going to do is spritz some water and just sort of go in areas that I think might have been touched a lot if the piece were truly authentic. So I am, well, you'll see.
Girl, you got me down so bad. I can't say enough. She pull up with that new thing. Please don't fall in love, cause I think of you all day. Yeah, I was running through my brain. Can't be nothing, cause I just know you got me thinking about forever. Gotta crush, crush, crush on you. I just wanna be your only crush, crush, crush on you. I'm not the type to give it in, read it out to your mind. Let me tell you now, I gotta crush, crush, crush on you. When I was looking outside, girl, you got me lost in your eyes. I got you when you're falling. Just know that I won't be here for long. Thinking of you all day. Yeah.
Okay, so the last part that I have to do is get these screws to look a little less obvious. They're going to be there, and I don't have a bronze that matches this. So I have Rub and Buff in Antique Gold and Autumn Gold, and I'm going to work with these to kind of make all this work. Right now I'm really loving the sort of grunginess of this piece, and I kind of want to continue that on here without it getting too shiny. All right, so I'm just gonna work and try to tone these down a little. At least this antique gold is more brown tone, and so because this I don't have the same copper. Let's see if I can zoom in. I cannot zoom in. So what I'm going to try to do then is I'm going to actually try to just do some very light updates on here to get that same color mixed in. This is terrifying, but it'll all be okay. So we're just gonna put a little on here, and then we'll use my finger. If I have to, I can grab some mineral spirits and work it down. But I think once we do it all, it'll be fine. So I'm just gonna work this in a little bit. Guess I should have bought some bronze, but I didn't realize I was gonna need it until I hit this point. And now I'm just really ready for it to go into the store. So, okay. I tend to get this all over me all the time. And now I'm gonna work a little bit with the autumn gold, which is a little bit more of a red. And sort of try to do sort of the same principle. But hopefully this will give us a multi-tonal effect that will make it feel like it belongs that way. In any case, so long as we do it similarly to all the knobs, it shouldn't be that obvious that it didn't work or whatever. And I think I can also get some dark wax and put over this to dull it at the end. So I'm going to work on this, and then if I need to do dark wax, I'll come back with that step. Okay, I actually haven't moved, but like I haven't even moved on at all. But as I'm sitting back, I'm noticing that I actually, because I chose this light color on top, I'm actually almost preferring this color. So that's something I didn't anticipate. So I really do actually like the look of this more copper as opposed to the antique bronze on here, because it goes a little better with this lighter top. So, interesting. And here is the completed piece. You can see that I added a little bit more antiquing gel around the parts where the hardware was. I figured that would be an area where people might have touched it. And then of course, around the corners, it just seems like that would be areas that got a little more dirty around the keyholes, things like that. So tell me what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. It really helps to grow our channel, and share with a friend if you think they might like it also. We'll see you soon.